All right, let's talk about Josh Allen. He had a decent day. The numbers were all right against the Steelers. I mean, they were ridiculous. In the second quarter, I saw them bringing up how much the all-time single-game passing yards record is because people were wondering if he was going to break it. I mean, he was just, from the word go, he was firing on all cylinders, and it started off with this play that you see on the screen. It's a cover two man. We all know what happened. They're at their own 2-yard line. Gabe Davis is running a deep route, and watch what happens. Allen is going to take the snap. Allen is going to look down the field, and you see how the safety moved very far in. I think that, on this 3rd down and long, because they're really trying to play a bit aggressive here, saying, hey, if we can get them to just get an incompletion, they have to punt out of their own end zone, we could get the ball in good field position, let's go, let's try to make something happen. However, with a safety getting himself out of position, what this is now done, and again, a little bit intentionally so, of, again, playing aggressive, but now he's put himself almost out of the play entirely, this has now turned it into a one-on-one matchup. The issue is that the corner played it as though he has safety help over the top, so he's almost okay with getting beat over the top, but then the safety undercut it, meaning that right now, while it looks like it's double coverage, this is actually a great situation for Buffalo. Allen, while getting hit, makes a perfect throw with the perfect amount of zip on it. I mean, that's an incredible throw from Allen. And then Gabe Davis makes the grab and is able to jog in for a touchdown. So, incredible stuff from Allen. Absolutely, mistake by Pittsburgh, but also they took a chance, right? Sometimes again, when you're playing against a team like the Bills, you have to try and see if you can steal possession, see if you can take a chance, and it didn't work out and got him 98 yards down the field, so maybe a mistake in hindsight, but again, just an incredible throw from Josh Allen. Going on to this play, it's going to be a cover 2 zone now, and this is another one of those plays where when I was watching it, I'm like, there's no way he's throwing it to this guy, right? Look at how when this play begins, so it's a cover 2 zone. You see right now, linebacker doing a good job of, filling up that gap that can be over the middle, so his back is turned, he can't really play the ball, but still, you have to make a much more accurate throw now if you're Josh Allen. You have to get it underneath the safety, so you're going to have to fire this one quickly, and of course you don't want the linebacker to have time to turn around, get an interception or something like that. But look at this fastball Allen throws to get it there in time and perfectly accurate to pick up a big completion. I mean, that's just a great play, and they're able to pick up a ton of yards in that one. So, again, Josh Allen, just when he is on, look out. This guy can make, every throw and then some. The arm talent he has is maybe the best of all time. I don't know. Also, that was not a tight end. That was little Khalil Shakir. I believe I called him a tight end earlier. Not sure why, because he's not a big guy. So that was my bad. Let's move on to this play now. It's going to be man coverage. This is the other aspect that Josh Allen has to his game. One thing that's notable about Allen is that he actually is someone you can blitz. I think people kind of put him in the Mahomes category of someone that you should just never blitz at any situation. His numbers actually do go down over his career when you blitz him as opposed to when you don't blitz him. So again, he's always going to be great no matter what, but that's actually a way you can beat him. The Steelers are going to try to do that here, where they're going to have, a 5-man rush, so not an insane blitz. They're not going cover 0, but still, you have a blitz coming, cover 1 man, and watch what happens. The blitzing defender for Pittsburgh actually gets there completely untouched, and you're thinking, okay, this is about to be a disaster. Let's just hope he holds on to the football at this point. But this is what makes Josh Allen unfair. He already has that arm talent. That should be all he gets, right? He shouldn't get anything else. He gets the arm talent. Okay, you've already maxed out your stats there. You can't put any more stats anywhere else. Instead, watch his mobility to get by him, and then since it's man coverage, you have 5 defensive backs looking at, or 5 defensive players, I should say, looking at Buffalo players not named Josh Allen, so he was able to pick up a first down with his legs on that one. So just when you think that you've got him all figured out and you made a great defensive call to get someone through untouched and get a pressure, when he does that. Going over to this play now, let's talk about a negative that's kind of a negative, but also kind of explains who he is. So the result is going to be a negative, but I actually think I like that Josh Allen does this. This is who he is, and it's going to eventually, occasionally result in some bad plays, but it also results in some very good ones. So it's going to be man coverage. You have a safety who's covering deep over the middle, and it's Gabe Davis with a one-on-one matchup on the outside. Look at how when this play begins, Davis is able to get a relatively clean release, and at this point, it's a 50-50 shot, right? I mean, this is a true jump ball, 50-50, who's going to win it type of play. And Josh Allen, I feel like when he has opportunities to take these shots, he takes it. And to me, that's not a negative. You have good receivers, but not just that, you have great arm talent, so you can put the ball where you want to. Kind of crazy to think accuracy was an issue for this guy early on in his career, because, I mean, his accuracy looks great this season. Again, everyone misses some throws, but I feel like it's kind of just interesting. I've never seen someone's accuracy improve as much as Josh Allen's has. But look at how here he puts one, and it's going to get intercepted. A good defensive play, certainly, but, I'm okay with him taking that chance, right? Levi Wallace made a good play. Give him some credit, sure. But this is also kind of what allowed for those big plays to happen earlier. That 98-yard touchdown is because he's willing to give his receiver a chance. Every now and then that play will happen where he gets an interception, sure. But more often than not, this play will happen where it's going to be a zone coverage play. You have Gabe Davis running a deep route over the middle. And on paper, this route shouldn't get that open, right? There's safety help. A corner can pick it up as well. This is probably just a clear out route or something, right? Helps get something more underneath open. Well, Allen takes the snap. Allen is going to look deep down the field and sees this situation. And, most safeties kind of say, it almost reminds me of like Mahomes his first season when you saw safeties playing him that way. But there's enough tape on Josh Allen. You should know you have to play deep at this point. But it's kind of just one of those things where you're sitting here saying, I'm 30 yards down the field. I don't have to get that much further deep. If this is a deep shot, well, how much yards would I have to cover? 20 more yards? Well, for Josh Allen, he has a bigger arm than just being able to throw 50 yards. Instead, you see this throw. This is going to be 60 yards down the field, so this either just wasn't far deep enough. Fitzpatrick wasn't, to where maybe he should have been against Josh Allen. When you play against a quarterback with that big of an arm, instead of having to cover 50 yards down the field, you have to cover 60 yards down the field, sometimes even 70 yards down the field, because he has that big of a cannon of an arm. And if you get just a little bit out of position, he will take advantage. And it's also one of those things where he makes these plays, like, great, you'll get the occasional interception, but more often than not, he's going to be able to hit on some of these, and they can be backbreaking for a defense. Every now and then, you will have the game where he doesn't hit on any of these, and everyone says, what happened with Josh Allen? Why did he struggle? Does he suck now? All the hot takes that'll happen. But usually he hits on a few of these, and that's what makes him so awesome. But yeah, as a whole, it's really good stuff from Allen. And again, obviously it's really good stuff from Allen. We all saw the numbers. We all know how good he can be. And going up against the Chiefs next week, that should be a very fascinating game, I think, for, it's always great when we kind of get to see two heavyweights going at it. And it's always great when we get to see those two heavyweights going at it. Those two guys tend to put on a show when those two teams play. I guess not the AFC Championship game 2 years ago. That was kind of one-sided. But as a whole, it tends to be a lot of excitement. But yeah, again, there's just great stuff going with Josh Allen. 424 yards, 4 touchdowns on 31 attempts. Talk about an insane yards per attempt day that Josh Allen was able to pull off against a defense that I feel like, listen, defense has had some struggles, but for the most part, it's been good this season up until this point. It really has. So this is the previous, they gave up 29 points to the Browns. Okay, they gave up some points there, and 24 points to the Jets. But as a whole, they've been solid. However, Buffalo has shown that they can just do that to a team, and they did it there. So be interesting to see what they can do down the stretch. But yeah, that's what I think about all this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.